50 memorable D-Day photos you must see and know.
Subscribe for daily content. Support this channel so it can grow.
Only a small percentage of people that watch my videos are actually subscribed. If you feel like supporting me more, join my Patreon.
1. Members of the U.S. 4th Infantry Division and the 327th Glider Infantry Regiment, 101st Airborne, crowd aboard an LCT on the way to Utah Beach, Normandy. D-Day +1, June 7, 1944. 2. The Queen and Princess Elizabeth talked to paratroopers in front of a Halifax aircraft during a tour of airborne forces preparing for D-Day, the 19th of May 1944. 3. American troops and crewmen aboard a Coast Guard manned LCVP as it approaches a Normandy beach on D-Day, the 6th of June 1944. 4. Troops crouch inside a LCVP landing craft, just before landing on Omaha Beach on D-Day, the 6th of June 1944. 5. D-Day. U.S. troops evacuate an injured soldier. 6. D-Day date is approaching gents, but many started their missions days before. Pathfinders synchronizing their watches before flying into battle in Normandy, the 5th of June 1944. 7. D-Day, 13:30 hours. Pegasus Bridge. After landing in gliders and a night of fighting men of the British 6th Airborne DIV. Here bagpipes, commandos from Sword Beach arrive linking up the two forces followed that night by the 2nd Battalion, 185th Infantry Brig. 8. Sergeant Jake McNeice of the 101st Airborne, Screaming Eagles, ready to parachute behind enemy lines on D-Day, 1944. 9. German artillery used during D-Day. 10. Airborne troops smile from the door of their Horsa glider as they prepare to fly out as part of the 2nd D-Day drop on the night of June 6, 1944. Writing on the side says, "Angels with dirty faces" along with a list of women's names. 11. American soldiers, injured while storming Omaha Beach on D-Day, recover just after the landings in Normandy, France on June 6, 1944. 12. Troops coming ashore on Omaha Beach at noon on D-Day. 13. D-Day +1. Black soldiers often ignored in the records. William Dabney from the 320th Barrage Balloon Battalion, 1st African American unit in the segregated U.S. Army to come ashore on D-Day. 14. U.S. soldiers wait in a landing craft as it approaches Omaha Beach during the D-Day landings in Normandy, France, June 6, 1944. 15. Map marked with the Allies' D-Day invasion plans. 1944. 16. Canadian soldiers land on Courcelles Beach in Normandy, on June 6, 1944 as Allied forces storm the Normandy beaches on D-Day, June 6, 1944. 17. Canadian soldiers in a landing craft assault, LCA, head for the beachhead from HMCS Prince Henry during the Allied D-Day landings. 18. July 1944 Private. John C. Rodriguez, Pawtucket, R.I., gives two weary paratroopers their first taste of GI food in 37 days. They were captured by the Germans the latter part of D-Day, escaped after several days' imprisonment during a night march, living off raw potatoes most of the time. 19. Salvo, the paradog, dropped behind German lines to accompany D-Day troops and sniff out mines. Asterisk. 20. D-Day dinner. American engineers eat their meal on top of ammo boxes. 21. The German coastal gun battery at Long-sur-Mer. This imposing fortification was located between Omaha and Gold Beaches. Despite a heavy aerial and naval bombardment, the battery was still in action on the afternoon of D-Day. 3 of its 4 152 mm naval guns were knocked out by Allied warships. 22. Among the U.S. 101st Airborne Division, the Filthy 13 volunteer pathfinders were a unique group. Parachuting into France just after midnight on June 6, 1944, they were among the first Allied troops to set foot on French soil as the D-Day invasion commenced. Tasked with marking the drop zones. 23. Gigantic logistical effort thrown by the Allies into D-Day and the subsequent months. Almost everything had to be taken to the continent, including whole trains, locomotives and cars, since Allied air power had destroyed most of the ones available in France. 24. The Mulberry Artificial Harbour off Arromanches in Normandy, September 1944. An aerial oblique photograph of the Mulberry Harbour off Arromanches. Artificial harbours were constructed along the beach shortly after D-Day so that armoured vehicles and heavy guns could be landed. 25. 83 feet Coast Guard cutters of Rescue Flotilla 1 saved 484 men on D-Day. 26. Canadian soldiers guarding a group of prisoners on Juno Beach on D-Day. 27. Despite being 56, suffering from arthritis and a heart condition which forced him to use a cane, Brigadier General Theodore Roosevelt Jr. was among the first wave of soldiers to land on D-Day, specifically Utah Beach, personally leading an assault. 1944. 28. 76th anniversary of D-Day. The white stripes behind the Ranger insignia are command stripes. Known as "Follow Me" bars, they are used to show whose orders and movements you need to follow if the fog of war has set in and you have no idea what is happening, which incidentally can happen a lot when you're getting shot at. 29. Despite suffering wounds from shrapnel, 76 years ago on D-Day, Army medic Waverly B. Woodson made it ashore Omaha Beach. For the next 30 hours, he treated over 200 men before collapsing from his injuries. He was nominated but never received the Medal of Honor. 30. Tension in the faces of these Royal Marine Commandos as they approached the Normandy beaches on D-Day. June 6, 1944. 31. Frank L. Wendell, in England before the D-Day invasion. He was a cannon crew member on a 105 mm howitzer. 32. The sheer magnitude of D-Day. 33. Men of the 1st Canadian Parachute Battalion displaying a captured Nazi flag at Wismar, Germany, 1945. From D-Day to V-Day, 12,500 Canadians died in the liberation of Europe. 34. A cool depiction of a D-Day veterans' memories of the landings. Pic was taken in Normandy. 35. Testing a LVT, landing vehicle transport, equipped with 2 Wasp flamethrowers prior to D-Day. 36. On D-Day, Private John Marvin Steele was the American paratrooper who landed on the pinnacle of the church tower in St. Mere-Église. 37. D-Day +2, members of U.S. 5th Engineer Special Brigade make their way in Omaha Beach. 38. One of the surviving images Robert Capa took at Omaha Beach on D-Day. 39. D-Day, afternoon. Canadians guard some of the first German prisoners on Juno Beach. 40. D-Day. June 6. A German soldier tries to dig himself out after being buried by an aerial bomb. 41. After D-Day landing, the British got involved in heavy fighting around Villers-Bocage trying to reach Caen. RAF Lancaster were called in 2 raids to carpet bomb the area almost CAS style to clear the area. 42. 101st Airborne Division veteran Ralph Maley faces the grave of his twin brother Roland Maley, killed in combat at the age of 19 on D-Day in Normandy, 2018 image. 43. The resolute faces of paratroopers of the 101st Airborne just before they took off for the initial assault of D-Day, June 6, 1944. The paratrooper in the foreground has just read General Eisenhower's message of good luck and clasps his bazooka in the other hand. 44. Wreckage left on Sword Beach following the D-Day landings in Normandy, France, in this case, a P-47 Thunderbolt that was shot down the 10th of June 1944 on a mission to Cherbourg, France. July 2, 1944. 45. Captain Robert Ray of the 82nd 507th Parachute Infantry Regiment checks his manifest before boarding his C-47 aircraft for the D-Day airborne assault, June 5, 1944. Color by Piece of Jake. 46. U.S. Gen. Dwight D. Eisenhower gives instructions to paratroopers in England in preparation for the imminent D-Day invasion on June 6, 1944. 47. Crater left by American warships D-Day invasion. 48. 1 year after the D-Day landings in Normandy, German prisoners landscaped the first U.S. cemetery at Saint-Laurent-sur-Mer, France, near Omaha Beach, on May 28, 1945. 49. Canadian soldiers land on Courcelles Beach in Normandy, on June 6, 1944 as Allied forces storm the Normandy beaches on D-Day, June 6, 1944. 50. German soldiers with their American captors, just after the D-Day landings, June 1944.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a comment, like and subscribe. Support the channel so I can bring you more content. Thank you again.